Good morning. I am Day. DAA are my initials. I am in recovery from loss, grief, trauma, and addiction. In my years of active recovery, I have found that upon awakening, it is useful to affirm and devote myself to the me of my recovery, the one that ties all of the pieces together gently, lovingly, and sometimes even fiercely to face each day, one day at a time. With these daily affirmations, reflections, devotions, and meditations, walk with me on the recovery journey of hope, renewal, resilience, and self reflection. And remember that you are not alone. Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. February 11th. The limits of self reliance. We asked ourselves why we had them fears. Wasn't it because self reliance failed us? Alcoholics Anonymous, page 68. All of my character defects separate me from God's will. When I ignore my association with Him, I face the world and my alcoholism alone and must depend on self reliance. I have never found security and happiness through self will, and the only result is a life of fear and discontent. God provides the path back to Him and to His gift of serenity and comfort. First, however, I must be willing to acknowledge my fears and understand their source and power over me. I frequently ask God to help me understand how I separate myself from Him. Fair use. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al Anon, February 11th. Tradition 5 helps me to set 3 goals: to work the steps for myself, to have compassion for alcoholics, and to have compassion for those who come to Al Anon. What strikes me is the amount of love to be found in these 3 goals. First, I love myself enough to try to heal and grow by working the 12 steps. Next, I call upon this strength to love those people I once thought were my enemies, recognizing that they too were struggling to cope with this terrible disease. Finally, I draw upon these experiences and extend love to those who are following a similar journey, the families and friends of alcoholics. I know that I was pulled from despair by the love of strangers who quickly became friends. Now I have enough love and wholeness within myself to share it with others who suffer from the effects of alcoholism. Today's reminder: I needed love before I even knew what it was. Now that I understand something about it, I need it even more. By loving myself, I not only take care of my own needs, but I lay a foundation for loving others. By loving others, I learn to treat myself well. Each Al Anon family group has but one purpose: to help families of alcoholics. We do this by practicing the 12 steps of AA ourselves, by encouraging and understanding our alcoholic relatives, and by welcoming and giving comfort to families of alcoholics. Tradition 5. Fair use. Just for today, daily meditations for recovering addicts. February 11th. A curse into a blessing. We have become very grateful in the course of our recovery. We have a disease, but we do recover. Basic text, page 8. Active addiction was no picnic. Many of us barely came out of it alive. But ranting against the disease, lamenting what it has done to us, pitying ourselves for the condition it has left us in, these things can only keep us locked in the spirit of bitterness and resentment. The path to freedom and spiritual growth begins where bitterness ends and acceptance, with acceptance. I'll read that over. The path to freedom and spiritual growth begins where bitterness ends with acceptance. There is no denying the suffering brought by addiction, yet it was this disease that brought us to Narcotics Anonymous. Without it, we would neither have sought nor found the blessing of recovery. In isolating us, it forced us to seek fellowship. In causing us to suffer, it gave us the experience needed to help others. Help no one else was so uniquely suited to offer. In forcing us to our knees, addiction gave us the opportunity to surrender to the care of a loving higher power. We would not wish the disease of addiction on anyone, but the fact remains that we addicts already have this disease, and further, that without this disease we may never have embarked on our spiritual journey. Thousands of people search their whole lives for what we have found in Narcotics Anonymous: fellowship, a sense of purpose, and conscious contact with a higher power. Today, we are grateful for everything that has brought us this blessing. Just for today, I will accept the fact of my disease and pursue the blessing of my recovery. Fair use. Today, Emotions Anonymous, February 11th. Reflection for today. One of the best persons to help you in times of trouble is someone who has had a similar problem. We say similar because no two problems are exactly alike. But somebody who has been down the path around the track and has actually survived to see the light at the end of the tunnel can do wonders to lighten the load of the burden we are carrying. My words, my attitudes, my caring, and my sharing are all appreciated by someone. Sometimes they let me know I have helped them, and sometimes they do not. The important thing is that we help each other. Meditation for today. Open my eyes to see friends who can help me and friends I can help. Today I will remember a helping hand does not end at your wrist, it goes all the way to your heart. Fair use. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. February 11th. Affection. Our false self constantly seeks outward affection, recognition, or praise, but we secretly believe we do not deserve it. BRB, page 7. Many of us spent forever trying to portray an image of having it all together, seeking approval by acting or dressing a certain way. We look to those who seem more confident to tell us how to think and feel. By doing so, we learn not to trust our own intuition. We were completely at the mercy of others. We were disconnected from our physical and emotional selves. When we finally received some recognition, perhaps on the job after working nearly around the clock, our sense of satisfaction was short lived. Deep down, we knew we didn't deserve that recognition because our inner critical voice was saying if they saw the real me, they wouldn't be, this wouldn't be happening. But as life changes in recovery, we now look for our self esteem within ourselves and in our relationship with our higher power, not other people. We let the peace of the ACA program grow inside of us one day at a time through rigorous honesty, striving to know and understand our inner child. We stop people pleasing because it deeply damages us. We have finally become the center of our own lives with an inner loving parent who won't abandon us. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I put myself first and let others think what they will. I am enough just where I stand right now." DHB Recovery Network Daily Affirmations, Reflections, Devotions, and Meditations. Read by me, Day. One day at a time. Share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be.